Graves County guitar people, Mr. Schrader here. We're gonna do a series of videos discussing some classical guitar things. In this first video, we're gonna discuss right hand stuff. Right hand technique is very different compared to what you're normally used to. Normally, you're used to using a pick. Today, I'm gonna talk about the PIMA system, which is the system that we use for naming the four fingers, excluding the pinky, on the right hand, and then how we set those up in what most people like to call default position. So let's get into this really quickly. PIMA is the system of labeling that we use for the right hand. So first we have P, the thumb, then we have I, index, M, middle, and then A is your ring finger. C is the pinky, if ever that becomes necessary, but we hardly ever use the pinky. So normally we're just dealing with thumb, index, middle, and ring. P, I, M, and A. So the second thing that we're going to discuss in this video is what I like to call default position. And default position is just that position that your right hand is going to go into when you're starting out. So if you don't have anything that you're playing, you're just wanting to get set up with a good technique. So there's a couple of ways that we want to go about doing this. First of all, let's talk about the hand position. So thumb, or P, as we're going to start referring to it, is going to go on string 4. And it's just going to rest there, just like this. And then the following fingers, I, index, going on string 3, M, middle, on string 2, and then A, ring, going on string 1. And this setup on the strings is called default position. Pinky, we don't want it sticking out like this. We just want it tucked in, sort of lightly closed in with the rest of our hand. So this is where our fingers are going to end up. As far as what part of the finger should be resting on there, let me make a little indentation for you here. Hopefully this is visible on my finger. So we just want the strings resting right on our fingertips, and then for the thumb, not exactly like this, but just sort of on the side of the thumb, so that we're coming at it like this and we're able to sort of push into it. And then the shape of the hand is going to mirror something like if you were to be holding a tennis ball in your hand. So let's move the guitar aside really quickly. So if I were holding a tennis ball in my hand, it would look something like this. I would take that same shape and I would just sort of collapse it a little bit so that each of my fingertips were able to hit strings 4, 3, 2, and 1 respectively. From there, I would make sure that my arm is then resting. Shift the camera just a little bit. Make sure that my arm is resting somewhere on the bout of the guitar. There's nowhere in particular that your arm needs to be resting. So a great way to do this is move your arm away, make that shape like you're holding a tennis ball in your right hand, bring that around, set your fingers individually on the strings, so they're just sort of on the fingertip like this, maintaining that shape, and then set your arm down. Wherever your arm falls, that is the best place to have it. Hand can go here, over the sound hole, can go back here a little bit. Generally, we want it sort of splitting the sound hole. So thumb would be over the sound hole, and then if you can see, my ring finger is sort of just behind the sound hole. And that's the best spot for default position. So to review things from this lesson, we have P, I, M, and A, and those in order go on strings 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand should look similar to if you were holding a small ball or fruit, something like that. And then once you have your hand set, just let your arm relax very naturally on the bout of the guitar there.